welcome to the Indistinct Conversation podcast. This is episode 94, and I apologize for the amount of time it took for episode 93 to come out. I feel bad that episode took so long to come out because it was a very sad episode. I wouldn't say sad, but I guess more or less cathartic. But yeah, it took me a while to work through it because going back and listening to everything that I got out, and it was just oh god, and I almost wanted to scrap it, but I knew nah, we got to put that out.
No, that was an important one, man.
Yeah,
and hey, it's Xander, by the way. They kind of just skip the intro.
Yeah, I'm Nelson. That's Xander, and
hey. But no, that was a big deal because this has been a fucking hard year for everybody, man. And
this is the first podcast.
Our chest. And the fucked up thing, the day after we recorded that really sad one, MF Doom died.
Yeah, no, he didn't die the day after that. They just
announced.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. You know what I mean? So fucking.
That one, it didn't hurt as much because I knew his family got to kind of, get all their grieving out and everything, and then kind of share that with the world. But let's not talk about the passing of heroes this week. Let's talk about the passing of democracy.
Oh my god, right? I mean, that's kind of the thing. That's kind of why I wanted to rewind back to that point, though, is Doom died, and I find out that Doom has been dead, and I'm obviously heartbroken by that because I'm a fucking white guy who grew up in the era that I grew up in, and I think that rap music makes me culturally relevant for some reason. But he is honestly badass, and I love him a lot. He's a great dude. It's good music, and that really fucked me up. And then the day that we find out that the Georgia election goes for the Democrats,
oh boy, shit went the fuck down, dude.
It's we woke up that morning being cool, Georgia just went for the Democrats. We're actually going to have a nice couple years. And then they stormed Congress. The fucking Proud Boys and the fucking Trump boys,
which is funny because we were talking about recording the night that the election was happening because you were we'll record tomorrow, we'll do a victory lap. It's looking like things are going good, and then the next day I messaged you it's going real great, isn't it?
Yeah, just I mean, it felt good when it was cool, it looks like we're winning, it's all coming together. And of course, there was this insane overreaction. So, I mean, obviously, everybody has kind of gone over this over the last few weeks.
Yeah.
And there's going to be more that comes out between now and then. You know what I mean? My favorite, I have a quick little bullet point list that we can rifle through, just of all the insane shit that's going on. The first thing this isn't the top of my list, but I feel like it's the most important thing to talk about. They beat a cop to death with a goddamn fire extinguisher.
Yeah, that happened. That fucking happened. And
the crowd had the Blue Lives Matter flag, and they just smashed this man's face in with the fire extinguisher. And it came out later that he was a Republican and a Trump supporter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't even. It's when this was happening, the day that this was happening, Sydney came over, and I was like, did you hear about what's going on? And she's like, oh yeah, with the Capitol and everything. And I was like, yeah. And she was just like, yeah, what's going on with it? And I showed her what's going on Twitter because she hadn't seen how much it escalated. And I showed her, and she was just like, holy shit. And then we both kind of sat there for a second and thought about it, and it's just this is just a bunch of white people beating up white people who probably all think the same. So
it's not, though, because
I went out and we went out and fucking I went out and blew a bag that day because I was just like, fuck it, dude, I don't even care.
That's a reasonable reaction. But no, they were in there with guns and bombs and cuffs, and they weren't looking for the white people in Congress because there were white people in Congress who were in on it.
They were just looking for everybody.
No, they were looking for Mike Pence and Nancy Pelosi, because if they're dead, then there's nobody who can succeed the president, and Trump has to stay the president. And they were looking for AOC and Ilhan Omar and all those people that they vilify. Cori Bush. They were looking for those fucking people, dude.
Yeah, but there's no way they were going to get to those people.
No, they came within minutes of getting to them. That woman who got shot, it was because she was breaking into the room where the Congress people were. That woman got shot because they were coming for them.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you think about it, like, that was as close as they were going to get. Like,
did you see any of AOC's footage where she says there's something that I can't even talk about because of security reasons, but I had a near-death experience? Like,
oh yeah, I saw that.
Like, they were like, oh my God, dude, when it all comes out, it's going to be scarier than what we think it was. I don't think there's like playing this down.
There's a whole Hulu special about it. This is
not white on white violence.
No, there's a whole Hulu special about it that I haven't watched yet, but like, it's
too soon for the Hulu special is what I'm saying, because the FBI is going to go through all this shit and prosecute these people. We're going to find out what really went down.
Okay, well, let me say this. I don't want to downplay this because, yes, people were in danger, and it was a very serious thing. But at the same time, I kind of had this overwhelming feeling of these are people who really don't have their shit together. It's like, I feel like these are the kind of people that...
You're wrong.
Let me finish.
I'm just letting you know that you're wrong, but yeah, keep going.
These seem like the kind of people that are like a dog chasing a mail truck. You know, it's like if they got there, they wouldn't know what to do in time to be effective. You know what I mean? Right.
They were waiting for orders from Donald Trump, but in the meantime, they were planning on taking captives and murdering people.
But that's the thing.
Do you think those dudes with the Confederate flags wouldn't have been so happy to put a bullet in AOC's head?
I'm sure they would have, but it's like they didn't.
They built a gallows and were chanting "Hang Mike Pence," dude, who is there on their side.
And that's why I'm like just kind of mentally distant from this, because it's like these are people who are so easily willing to turn on their own that, like, I feel like it's I just have a level of indifference to these people because they have such a low level of conviction. Does that make sense? It's like,
well, I don't. No, I think it's the opposite. They have too much conviction in wrong things, and they're so dedicated to Trump.
But that's the thing. I think they feel like they have too much conviction, but it's so misplaced and it's so sporadic that it's like
they think the rest of us don't understand the truth. Is what they're doing, man. These people are fucking psychotic. They don't understand reality. Like, they're attacking the government, and there were so many people with like Q t-shirts and like Auschwitz t-shirts and like fucking they had like MAGA Civil War with the date on it on their fucking hoodies and shit.
Okay, but what's been happening to these people since then?
They've been getting rounded up, but like, you can't tell me that these people don't have conviction. That's another one of my things was these are like upper middle class people. There were big crowds of people being like, we're the business owners. We run this country. And fucking, there was that one woman who's famous because she took a private jet to get there, took a picture of herself doing a peace sign next to the smashed in windows, and then did like duck face pictures after she crawled through the smashed in windows when she was inside the building.
That's the thing.
You know what I mean?
think there's a difference.
Like, this is a woman who like owns businesses and she's a radio host in like Houston or something.
But there's a difference between having conviction and being pissed off and white with money.
Well, and
you know what I mean?
They're like literal white supremacists, though. That's their conviction, is that and because they won't fess up to being fucking white supremacists, they buy into their fucking conspiracy theories and their nonsense that the whole election was stolen somehow.
But how do you have conviction when you're so easily willing to turn on your own? That's what I don't understand. That's not conviction.
Because they haven't turned on Trump yet. They've always said that America is what they stand for, and that they're patriots and they love America. But when he loses the normal American election, they say, fuck America, we want Trump. So their conviction isn't for like any type of actual loyalty to anything besides this bizarre cult of personality. Like that's
I don't
like
think
their
they have
leader.
conviction. I think they're just pissy babies. That's what it is. Like,
but what are they pissed about? They're pissed about the fact that they lost an election. They're pissed about the fact that democracy is working and they are not popular. And they're willing to kill 5 people, 3 of which are their own people, and 2 of which were cops who were probably also their own people.
That's not conviction. That's just having a fit.
No, dude, it's fighting for white supremacy. It's trying to start the Civil War over again.
But think about this, dude. Think about this realistically. Let me lay this on.
I am.
If that were to happen, and Civil War were to break
if they had killed Congress people,
then
if they had gotten in there and started shooting and setting off bombs, bro,
then this country would fucking body these people. That's what I'm. See, this is what I'm saying. If this whole thing were to like escalate to the level that they wanted it to, they wouldn't be ready for that. You know what I mean? Like they think that they'd be ready for it, but they fucking wouldn't. They wouldn't be ready for it.
I feel like with all the if they had gotten in there and actually killed people in Congress and Trump was the president while that was happening, he would have done some insane shit that we wouldn't even expect after that. Because he's been having the biggest hissy fit of all after all this shit. Did you hear? There was that one phone call where he before the vote he was calling Mike Pence and being like, "Look, you can either be remembered as a patriot or as a pussy."
Yeah.
He literally threatened Mike Pence, the guy who calls his wife mother. Do you don't want people to think you're a pussy, do you? That shit just cracked me up so bad. How about the guy who tasered his balls until he died?
I know you've been a real big fan of that guy lately.
It's the best thing. It's the best. It's the best description of toxic masculinity.
And that's
right?
okay, but that example is another reason why I feel this like
no.
That's another reason why I feel like this entire like movement would fucking eat itself before they made any progress.
Yeah,
you know,
fascism always does, but fascism also does stuff like World War II and the Holocaust on the way to eating itself. You know what I mean? Like this is a story we've told before throughout history, and so like, you know, yeah,
I know. I get.
I'm
that.
tired of these people. It's funny because this is their reaction to us telling them like, "Don't you wish that we could just give you health care and you could afford to go to college?" And they say, "No."
Jesus Christ. Yeah, but that's the thing.
I don't want to afford the doctor. God damn it! Like what the hell?
I'm gonna pay for my own damn doctor. God damn it!
I just want to raise taxes on like 10 people, dude. That's it.
See, like it's things like that kind of have brought me to this realization that like, yeah, okay, this thing happened and it was really fucked up and it was a real serious thing that happened.
Yeah.
You know, it was an attempt at a coup on the United States of America. You know, that's a real thing. That's a real fucking problem.
Literally trying to stop the presidential election.
Yeah. That's a very serious thing. I get that. But at the same time, I know these are the same fucking people who were fucking trying to climb a wall and fucking falling to their death and tasering their own nuts, you know? And so, so it's like as much as like people want to be worried about this and as much as I commend anybody that takes this threat very seriously, I know that, you know, I believe that the force of, you know, the United States' defense is fucking tenfold or 1,000-fold compared to what these fucking idiots think they got. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you. But then, like, just the basic things about how, like, there were, like, they just did the impeachment of Trump's second impeachment.
His second impeachment.
High score, Donald Trump, 2 impeachments.
Two impeachments, 1 presidency.
1 term. Didn't even have to get reelected to get that second one.
1 term, 2 impeachments, going for the Hall of Fame.
Fucking A. But it was like something like 197 Republicans voted against it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they're still like that far on their side. So like 300 people in Congress did, but almost 200 didn't. And then when you think like we still only just barely won that presidential election. Like it's something like 47-53%, like on how it splits between Trump voters and Democrat voters.
No, it wasn't.
So it's really close.
It was more than that.
No, it's 74 million voted Trump and like 80 million.
Do you want me to pull this up right now? Because I'll pull this up right now.
No, pull up the actual percentages and get that right.
Jamie, could you pull that clip up?
Yeah. But it was 74 million voted for Trump, 80 million voted for Biden. So yeah, 6 million people is a lot of people, but it's still really close to half of the country that believes in this white supremacist bullshit. You know what I mean? And
no, you were way off, dude. You were way off.
What is it?
It was 81 to 47.
80. That doesn't
like it was. Okay, let's see. It's a big number. Okay, it's a very big number.
I'd love to see it if you got it.
All right, let me see if I can change this thing up.
But and there's people like, what's her name, Boebert from Arizona.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, wow. So that's
that's close to what I said. It's 51% for Joe Biden and 46%
46.
for
That's
which is almost 50-50. It's really close to 50-50. 4%. Yeah, it's like 6 million people, but still, that's a lot of fucking people, dude. And there was that story about all the senators who were outraged when there was a metal detector on the way back into Congress, and they were like fighting cops on the way in, like, you don't have the right to scan me for metal detection. Like, are you serious?
Okay.
After what happened? Like, there's just so many bizarre things like that. And they're in the military and they're in the police departments too. We know there's a white supremacy problem in the police and with the military. So, like,
well, yeah, that's why, seeing this, it's like,
it's just all,
I mean, yes, because it makes you realize, yes, it's not blue lives matter, it's black lives don't matter. And that's, there's
absolutely,
therein lies the rub, my friend.
That's my problem is like, we need to fight to make sure these white supremacists know that their place is in a dark corner somewhere where they don't belong in the rest of society.
Exactly. And that is what's happening. And like, I feel like,
I hope you're right.
I feel like I am, because it's like these people are getting rounded up because they were so bold or ignorant or just fucking straight up fucking stupid to be doing this and fucking waving at cameras and going out,
posting it all over social media, streaming it on Facebook.
Yeah, and so it's like when these people do get detained, it's like even if they do make it off that flight home, they're fucking getting picked up at the airport, or they're not even allowed to get on the plane.
I love those videos.
It's like, there's that whole thing about how these people could face way more trouble than they thought they would because of the executive order that Trump put in to basically go against the fucking Black Lives Matter protesters and everything. Yeah. Which I'm all here for that. I fucking love that. That's
just like poetic justice. That's just one of those beautiful things. Like, oh yeah, you're mad because we tore down Confederate statues. Well, your dudes attacked the Capitol during a vote.
I mean, there's that video going around the election. The night of the election here in Georgia, with the Proud Boys out in BLM Square in Washington, like literally just running at the cops, getting fucking pepper sprayed in the face, trying to fight the cops, just getting fucking maced right in the face. And it's like, you idiots, and like things like that. Like things like that are why I feel like, if push comes to shove, these fuckers are gonna get put in their place, just like they are.
Fascism will always lose eventually, but I'm interested in making sure the eventually happens fast and not later, after it becomes too big of a problem. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. It is happening. It's happening now.
It's a little too late though after they attack Congress though, because we knew what Parler was up to. That's the other big thing is like there's a lot of Republicans pissed that Amazon just kicked Parler off their servers. And it's like, well, yeah, you guys were literally just like openly talking about murdering people's children in front of them. Like, that's you guys were.
Well, okay, yeah, but it's like at the same time, okay, yes, maybe this shit didn't get shut down. Oh, sorry. Oh, maybe it didn't get shut down soon enough, but now that it is happening, it's fucking happening with force, and that's commendable.
Here's another wrinkle to this though, like how I was talking before we were recording.
Okay.
that riff about, history doesn't repeat, but sometimes it rhymes, or I forget who said that originally.
I've never heard that saying. I meant to tell you before, I've never heard that saying, and I have no idea what it means.
Don't worry. Well, it means that there's like echoes of the past, you know what I mean? And so in 1923, Hitler led.
Okay, you know what? You know what
riot.
you're about to do. You're about to fucking go. I know what you're about to say.
This is the thing that happens. This has
I know
happened.
exactly what you're about to say because I've seen so many people like say this same thing about like, oh, look at this. There's a code
So
here.
but let me finish though. My point is, the FBI is arresting all these people and sending them to prison and shit for like 10-year, 20-year sentences. Don't we also know there's a huge problem with white supremacy in prisons? Isn't there like studies done about how a lot of people go to jail and they just learn how to be better criminals? And this thought just occurred to me today. We send all these people who were at the riots, to attempt to overthrow the government for white supremacy, to prison, and then they meet the guy who's had a shaved head and a tattoo on his forehead since the 80s. And that guy's got he's been spending all his time in jail just reading all of the bullshit that he can to teach these fucking people. And then they get out in 10 or 20 years. That's kind of where my head has been at for the afternoon is like, are these insane white supremacists who believe in conspiracy theories going to go into prison and then become more radical? That's a scary thought. They're not going to go in there and regret everything. I've only been locked up for smoking weed and being too drunk, going into the wrong apartment when I apologized and tried to leave and was threatened to get beat up.
See, Xander, what you have is what we call white fear. Okay. It's because okay. Look, let me lay this on you. Let me lay this on you. Let me lay this on you, young blood.
Let's go.
Let me learn you something, player.
I don't appreciate you using AFV on me.
How about you shut the fuck up and listen then? All right. Basically, okay. The way you look at this with okay, these white people are going to go to jail and meet some dude who's been a white supremacist since the 80s and get more radicalized. That's
a thing.
Yeah, of course that's a thing. But at the same time, it's okay. Look at it like this. The way, that whole way of thinking is the same way that a lot of lawmakers and higher up white people have thought about when black people get out of jail. They think, okay, this black person or this person of color has gone to jail and they've been around all these other criminals that are like them, so when they get out they're just gonna be more of a criminal. And so that's created a system in which coming out of prison leaves you at a crippled state economically.
Right,
and so it's
felons can't get jobs.
Yes, and so I get how you have that fear of that way of thinking. That's very justifiable, but at the same time, I really don't think that's the way that's going to go. And I'll say as far as the whole situation goes, regardless of race or why they went to prison, it's the fact that they come out worse than they went in is not a failure of that person. It's a failure of the system. But I'm saying that's not always the case. It's not always the case. And I don't want to make blanket statements, but it does the percentages, the studies have shown that often is the case. Because when you go to jail for a small crime and then you're amongst prisoners and you think, well, I'm not going to be able to get a regular job, and then you learn how to survive as a fucking felon in prison, if prison focused on rehabilitation and taking care of people the way I wish it was, then I would be totally 100%. But because the system is so bad, you've seen Oz. It's horrifying. I've seen Oz. I've seen a lot of that famous documentary Oz. I've seen a lot of sad hood movies, man. And the thing is, that's why I feel when these people do go to jail, they're either going to meet these actual white supremacists And
I hope they get scared away.
That's what I'm saying. They're probably going to meet these actual white supremacists and think, well, I had money. I'm not like you. And then these people are going to be like, the fuck you mean? You think you're better than me? We're both white, and it turns into this whole thing where where this entire where this entire ecosystem begins to eat away at itself. You know what I mean?
And I hope,
everything begins to fold in on itself. Just like I said, where it's like you have all these MAGA chuds who are going in and going after all of Congress, Republicans and all. It's like these are people who are so willing to turn on themselves and turn on each other that like I feel like if they did get to jail and they were face to face with actual white supremacists, they would think, oh, that's not me, I'm better than them, and then they would have to deal with that, and that would would create a whole new fold in on itself. And that's my hope, but my fear is that somebody who can afford to take a private jet to go to a protest will meet somebody who can't but knows all about the fucking fascist way of living and the way to overthrow the government. But do you think that person would willingly interact with that person? Because I don't think that would happen.
They'll be locked up in prison, so it won't be willing. But they'll be in a cell looking for something to talk about. It's just a thing that could happen. It's just something that's like.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like if these people if these people think because they're business owners and because they have wealth and they can do this, that, and the other, they like once they're in jail, that realization is going to hit them that they are nobody, and they're going to try and cling to
they're going to try to get along with the lower class people that they now see themselves as, and they're going to try to get them radicalized and to join in with them, dude.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. But yeah, I feel like these people are going to get to a point where they're trying to just cling on to whatever they have, and they're going to see somebody who is a legit white supremacist and think I'm not like you, and then that's going to create a conflict. You know what I mean? Like
I think a rich white supremacist sees more of themselves in a poor white supremacist than a rich white person sees in a rich black person.
Nope.
I sincerely believe that.
Nope.
I think when you look at people like well, I think Donald Trump is the perfect example. He's what is he? Oh my God, I didn't even want to go here really, but like
what do you got, man? What do you got?
I'm trying to think of a way to say this without sounding as bad as the people I'm trying to criticize. You know what I mean? Because with
Donald Trump, he was a rich guy who made other people who weren't rich feel like they were like him. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that doesn't go the same way for a lot of other rich white people.
I think it would be totally easy if they were using the same white supremacist language as a guy like that does in a prison cell. And then they say, well, I also have the money to buy a private jet, and as soon as I'm out of here, I can finance driving us all over.
Yeah, but if they're dumb enough to follow Donald Trump, I don't think they're smart enough to go ahead and get somebody who's been in prison and has as much knowledge as that person would to just follow them.
I mean, a lot of prisoners are street smart, not book smart, Exactly.
And so I think the street smarts would come into play and be like, fuck, like, okay, so this rich dude who got, who's just here is telling me he can do this, that, and the other for me. I'm sure these people have had plenty of people tell them they could do this, that, and the other for him. Yeah.
If I was about to get out of prison and I knew a rich guy who was also tuned in with me ideologically, if I knew a guy who was in prison,
though, that's the thing. So many
who was a socialist, I'd be trying to push socialist agendas.
Yeah, but that's the difference. So. That's the difference between us and them, because it's like when a rich guy gets out, they're going to go back to being rich. And if this white supremacist that they met in prison gets out and is living in poverty and comes to them and tries to get on board with them, they're going to be like, ew, get away from me, poor person. I don't care if you're a white supremacist or not.
But a lot of these rich people were at the protest doing the dirty work, wearing their fucking playset tactical gear and fucking marching around kicking in windows. And
yes, but you got to think of like
you got to have some money to have that big ass pickup truck.
But when
that fucking tactical shit,
after they go to jail and they have that taken away from them and they get out and they like are finally able to have all of their fineries back, you think they're just gonna fucking converse with any fucking poor person off the street, white or not? No.
I think a lot of them are going to lose so much while they're locked up that they're going to come back with like a vengeance, like evil villain mastermind plan. You know what I mean? like when they locked up Magneto and they just came back out like pissed off. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like that's the story arc, man. So that's what I'm afraid of.
You're way more worried about this than me. I'll tell you that now.
I agree. I completely am, and it's. I don't know. I don't want to say it's because I understand it better than you. Maybe just different than you. You know,
I've seen American History X. Okay, I get it,
dude. I've been beat up by white supremacists for not wanting to be one of their friends. Like as soon as it's like, wait, whoa, you guys are Nazis? Oh, I'm not a Nazi. And then they kick my ass. Like we were drinking and smoking weed all night. Like fuck you guys, man. Fucking yeah.
See, that's the thing. A lot of people are so they'll turn on each other so easily that
over their heartfelt beliefs that they are the best.
Exactly. And so it's like I just feel like it's like it's gonna eat itself before it, evolves into something bigger.
I hope so. I'm just picturing the Ouroboros, the snake with its tail in its mouth.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's just gonna
get that as tight as possible.
It's just going to eat itself because if these same people who when the Black Lives Matter movement happens and they're like, I really like, can cops stop killing us? And they're like, no, blue lives matter. And then this happens and they're like, fuck that, let's kill a cop. It's just like, okay, so who else are you guys gonna turn on? Who are you gonna say fuck it to next? If you're gonna say if you're gonna say blue lives don't matter, you're gonna say, oh, the right hand man to our favorite guy doesn't matter anymore. Then it's like, who's next? So
that's like
that's
when you see photos of like 100 years ago in New York where there's like signs that say like Irish not welcome and like no Italians.
Yeah.
Like it was literally like you white people aren't the right kind of white.
Exactly. So that's why I mean? That's why I'm not worried, because
supremacy will always eat itself. That's absolutely
exactly
true.
And it's like as long as I continue to, be the best person that I can be and
build positive things, make people happy.
Yeah, it's like as long as I stay out here fucking, killing it, trying to stay positive, trying to stay productive. It's like these people are going to, waste all of their time and all of this money and all of this wealth that they've, spent time, gathering. They're going to waste all of that on something as stupid as a fucking one-term, twice impeached president. And it's
Have
stupid.
you ever been on a private jet?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I haven't. The closest I got, my grandpa had a prop plane that it was like a, I don't know. He knew
define
how to fly
private
a plane.
jet then.
I don't know, just a plane that is not a big airline plane. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. So imagine having enough money to just do that on a weekend and using it to go do what happened last Wednesday.
Okay, well then let me. Okay, well,
like, wouldn't you rather just go to the beach somewhere?
Yes. Well, let me further your hypothetical imaginary situation with this, my friend. Say yes, you do have the money to do such a venture.
Okay,
and
I feel you.
You decide to spend the wealth you've incurred on such a venture, and you do this, and you include yourself in such events that afterwards
the FBI shows up at your house.
Yeah, and so it's just like, well, now you don't have that anymore, because now, guess what? That fucking private jet belongs to the government. That private jet belongs to the FBI because it's evidence now, bitch. So it's like, why would you, it's like, yes, if you could do that, and you did do that, why would you be willing to lose that? It's like, I remember the first time I saw $1,000 in my bank account. All right.
Oh, that feeling is so fucking amazing.
The first time, and it wasn't that long ago for anybody watching. It was during this podcast. Oh, I don't know if I had said it on the podcast, but it was It was back in 2018 or 2017 or so that like I'm not saying like, you know, when I'd be buying a car, you know, or something like that, where it's like I'd take a bunch of money that I had all over the place and pool it at once to have, you know, a couple grand.
The cash is just in there.
Yeah, I'm saying you get a check and you got a grand or a couple grand in there. I didn't spend a fucking dime for the next week because I was like, wow, I have never gotten this much money at one time. Yeah. And so it's it's like, yeah, okay, say, yeah, you do have that wealth where you can hop on your private jet and, you know, you want to go be a part of something that you think is bigger than you, and you go do that.
Sure.
And by doing that, you risk losing that wealth. Why would you do that? You know? And so these are this is a reason why I'm not afraid of these people, because it's like, yes, they might have incurred this wealth, or they might have, you know, been lucky enough to end up with this, but at the same time, a lot of them
inherited it.
Yeah, and so these people have, like, it doesn't mean anything. All this wealth and all this status has no value to them because they're so willing to throw it away for such a stupid cause.
So my only flip to that is that so many of these people are so like the Q shaman guy was talking about how like Christ wanted this to happen and all this insane shit. Like, I've been watching interviews of that guy being fucking completely berserk. The guy who had the horns and fur on. And
you mean the guy that Alex Jones even kicked off his show?
Yeah. I've
fuck
been watching,
that guy.
There's been a lot of interviews of him that have come out the last couple of days, and so, like, he believes this is like an actual like calling from God that this needs to happen.
Okay, think about this. Do you remember
Let me complete this real quick. It's like there's gonna be some rich folks who say, "Oh my God, I wasted too much money on this, and I had to go to jail for 10 years. That fucking sucks. I'm just gonna be rich the rest of my life." But there's gonna be a lot of people who spent everything they had on this, and they're gonna come out of that 10 years pissed and even more upset at the government. And even more ready for a crazy white supremacist leader who wants to overthrow democracy and all this bullshit. You know what I mean? So, I don't know.
And those are the people who step up first to the firing line.
It's what I hope for as well.
That's all it is.
If any, I think the best case scenario is we take white supremacy more seriously as a threat either way. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that at all.
I just don't think people should be cruising around with Confederate flags anymore. You know, that's a really weird thing to be doing after we, you know, defeated them in that war and all that shit.
No, we live in Georgia, and since I've been here, I haven't taken any of that shit seriously. Fucking losers. They're fucking losers. That's what it is.
They're losers, but they have guns and they're crazy and they believe in QAnon bullshit. Like, that's... You know, they believe everybody who isn't a Republican who loves Trump eats babies. They think you and I eat babies. You know, like that's.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's a part of the black experience to kind of know like what the real problem is and what's just a bunch of like pissed off people who are going to end up, you know, tasing their own nuts off. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
It's like the real problem that I'll still worry about. I'm still looking out for the cops. You know?
Yeah.
It's like the way that I, you know, go about things and the way I live my life. I'm not looking over my shoulder for white supremacists. I'm not looking over my shoulder for racist people.
A lot of these dudes that have been getting pulled up in this FBI roundup are also police officers. There was a lot of off-duty cops who went to D.C.
Again, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised by that at all. You saw the fucking Spider-Man meme of like the three Spider-Mans with with the KKK guy, the MAGA guy, and the cop. You know, so it's like, I'm not surprised by any of this.
I'm just saying, like, the white supremacists you should be looking out for are the ones that are sponsored by the state, like the people in the Senate.
Yes,
like
that's what I'm saying. I look out for the cops. You know, I'm out, you know, keeping an eye out for the cops. But like, other than that, you know, when I go out and, you know, go about my business, I'm not looking over my shoulders, you know, for white supremacists or racist people like it's the fucking 50s anymore. You know,
half the time those cats are ex-cops. Like, what was that guy's? Was it Armin something who just, like, two random guys just fucking killed him because he was jogging through their neighborhood, and it turned out they were like ex-police. Yeah. That happened in Georgia, dude. Yeah. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
I know.
So those are just random white supremacists.
I mean, but that's the thing. Yeah, I that's the thing. I don't, like I said, I'm not looking over my shoulder for white supremacists and shit like that, but I live my life like I know what country I'm in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if I'm going to go jogging in the morning, I'm going to wait till the fucking sun's up. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how it is. You know, yeah, it's like, of course I'm not going to be looking over my shoulder for these kind of people, but at the same time,
be on you though, man.
You know, obviously that's not on me, but that's just,
oh my God,
that's just how it is. You know what I mean? Like, that's why, you know, that's why it's like, I know, like, I've got it in my head, you know, of you know, shit that seems suspicious that I just don't even, you know, that I just don't even do. And that's just life. You know, that's just life as a black person in America. And yeah, it does. But at the same time, knowing that, that's the reason why I'm not looking over my shoulder for these other fucking idiots. You know?
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's like, you know, you saw what happened to the fucking Twisted Tea guy. You know, because that's what it's like. You know, I had the same argument, you know, on the last episode where it's like, yeah, I can't go busting up every guy who says some racist shit around me, but that, you know, that's becoming the norm for what happens when you're the minority doing that. Like, if you're the one, like, white guy who's fucking going off and spouting off a bunch of racist shit, somebody's gonna fucking check you.
And
you know,
he said it so many times, like over and over and over again. It's like, it's so easy to just stop.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like,
I'm not disrespecting you. The most disrespectful word you could then call a person. Like, that's
and so it's like, when these people get checked, it's that. Yeah, no, like, that's what happens.
Yeah. And I feel a lot of this too. I felt this, and this is kind of a funny thing. This is history echoing, but not repeating. Like, when Obama got elected, I was like, oh my God, are we actually going to stop being racist as a country? Are we moving past it? And then they got way more racist, you know? And now that Biden's going to be the president, I feel like, oh man, can we actually start getting a little bit better and more normal? And I feel like the crazy folks are just going to get even crazier. Like, speaking of Georgia, hometown heroes, you know, Marjorie Taylor Greene has already announced that she's going to impeach Joe Biden on his first day in president. I said. That's
why?
fucking funny. There's literally no reason. There's no possible way you could do this, because to impeach a president, he has to have done something as the president.
But like, why would she do that? That's what I don't understand.
Because she is the QAnon senator from Georgia, and this is another. It's almost the same thing as Kelly Loeffler.
Oh, you're saying hometown hero ironically. I was just like, what the fuck?
She's from Georgia.
I know. You said hometown hero. I thought that was like. I didn't know you were being sarcastic. I was just like,
I can't. Sometimes I can't tell when I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah, I was just like, I was like, what the fuck?
All the time. But anyway, so she did a thing on, I think it was Newsmax or something like that, where she's just like, we cannot have a president who abuses his power and is sold himself to Chinese and Ukrainian fuel companies, and I will be introducing articles of impeachment on day one of his presidency. And it's like, she's just another rich blonde woman who bought a house in a state because there was nobody else running for Republican senator there, and she won the Senate. You know what I mean? Or I think she's House of Representatives. I'm not sure. But
dude, imagine if black
like,
people
these
could do
people
that
are-
shit, dude. Like, that would be fucking crazy.
and that's kind of like a part. It's like another dimension of this whole argument is like these insane white people who have no connection with reality have so much money that they can just spend it and be a fucking House of Representative.
Yeah, like say we like struck it rich, and we moved to
like
we moved
hundreds of millions of dollars.
I'm saying,
you know
like,
what I mean?
say we get like crazy lucky and strike it rich, and we decide to go to some flyover state and just fucking be like, yep, I'm gonna be the governor. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, dude.
It'd be insanity. People would be like, you can't do that. What?
Put me in charge of Wyoming. Holy shit,
Dude,
guys.
yeah. It's
Wyoming would be a party overnight, dude. There's so much space.
I mean,
and room.
Like, imagine
Oh my
if
God.
imagine if we did that, but you were the voice of it, and I was just the guy pulling the strings behind it, and nobody had a fucking clue. And then it's just like one day in the middle of all this, like we hit the height of things. We're at the peak. We're fucking unstoppable. And you're like, and this is the guy who's done everything. And I come out,
Mastermind behind it all.
yeah. And I come out and I'm just like, ha, gotcha, bitch. Like,
I love it.
especially in Wyoming, that'd be wild.
Oh, yeah, those cowboys
God.
would not be ready for it. Well, no, actually, because they're so sweet out there. I don't think there's racists in Wyoming.
Yeah, maybe not
Maybe they're
Wyoming. Maybe if we did it in like Ohio or something.
If we're trying to troll racists, oof, sorry. If we're trying to troll racist, I'm looking at Alabama or maybe like South Carolina, like those rich racists who like have super nice suburban houses. You know what I mean?
I'm not playing shows anymore, so you can't fucking pay me to go to Alabama, dude.
I hate Alabama too.
I
You know, it's the
fucking
difference.
hate
The
that
difference-
place.
In Alabama, all the couples are really skinny men with obese wives, and in South Carolina, it's obese men with hot wives. I don't know why that's a thing. There's like some kind of the blur happens in Georgia.
And
You
in
know what I
Arkansas,
mean?
it's black guys with fat white wives.
Oh, that's everywhere.
That's it.
That's universal. That's just evolution proving that it works because their babies are beautiful every time.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah.
Oh
it's
my
like,
God.
I like. See, that's what
That's the
I'm saying.
master
It's like
race.
I'm living such. So the life I'm living is like a white supremacist fucking nightmare. You know what I mean?
I know.
I've got a white co-host. I've got a white girlfriend.
Bro.
I've got fucking. Like that's most of a lot of my audience is white people, and I work for a fucking black collective who's like, oh, you love black alternative stuff. Well, come on, give us all your money. No, you can like us even though you're not black. We'll just we'll just take your money.
It's such a positive thing, dude, and it's so that's a funny thing that I didn't even have written down, but since we're just kind of in this space, fucking. I follow Dead Kennedys and a lot of other older punk
fucking
bands.
God damn it.
And like, what the fuck is with like punk rock has always been a very far left thing in my mind. Although there has
Until
always
they
been,
get old with their money. Look at the
And then
fucking
they get
Sex
old.
Pistols.
And then, oh my God, worst example, most egregious was guy from Sex Pistols wearing the fucking Trump gear.
Yeah,
But
fucking what's his face?
The official Johnny Rotten,
Yeah, Johnny
scumbag,
Rotten, that
piece of
bitch.
shit. Fuck him. He should have died from the overdose too. But anyway, the official Dead Kennedys page on Facebook shared a fucking Mitt Romney quote the other day, and I almost fucking puked on myself. Like, it just. Like, never meet your heroes, right? Like, the Dead Kennedys predicted the future with like all of their albums are about what's happening right now, and fucking for them to be currently saying, "God damn, Mitt Romney was right."
It cracks me up. It cracks me up that Mitt Romney, like, did the bare minimum as a Republican, and was just like, yo, what the fuck is Donald Trump doing? And like,
Hey,
people are just like,
I don't wanna
he's good.
Yeah, he's literally like, hey, so I still don't want to raise taxes, and I think war is good, but this guy is literally a Nazi. And then they fucking burned him at the stake. They're like, fuck Mitt Romney. And, and Mitch McConnell, oh, it's going to happen. They're going to impeach this guy. Well, they did. I think they're going to convict him. I think they might do that. Because there's a lot of Republicans in the Senate saying that they're into that. They're like,
I was curious about like why are you guys impeaching him with like at the time they did it was like 12 days left, and it was like the way I did some research and the way it was explained to me was so he can't run again, which I thought was that's hilarious.
It just cuts his wings out from under him, and it does things. I think things like how he has like a certain $1 million budget to travel because he's an ex-president, and like
and like that shit.
Because back when life was normal, it was like, you want the ex-president to be able to go to foreign countries and say America's cool. You know what I mean? Like that's
Think about this though. Now. Fucking all right, hear me out here.
I'm listening. I'm all ears.
Blowjobs all over the White House.
Here we go. Let's start the show.
Dude, I almost wanted to write like a whole essay about that shit earlier today, because it's like my life was like, I was born during George Bush 1, which was basically Ronald Reagan Part 3, and we all know about all that bullshit.
Wait, who was the president in 95?
Clinton.
Okay, because that's the thing. Cognitively, I didn't even think about who the president was until I was in like the 4th grade when John Kerry was running.
That's cool.
Which was like post 9/11, post Hurricane Katrina, when I was just like, well, this guy is terrible. You know what I mean? And that was me in the 4th grade. You know what I mean? So like,
dude, and this is me being the fucking nerd that I am. I also brag about the fact that I was the only guy in my kindergarten class who could say spaghetti. But we actually
fucking
had to
show off.
Yeah, I know. We had to do a fake vote on who was going to be the president on our like 80s Macintosh DOS computers or whatever they were. It was like the green screen, And I actually went home to my mom and was like making a big deal about it. Like, what's the difference between George Bush and Bill Clinton? Like, I don't get it. And like my mom explained it to me and it was like, well, yeah, you definitely should raise taxes on rich people to help pay for poor people. That's easy. That's like what the Ninja Turtles and Robin Hood would do. And so like,
and when you're a kid, who better than the Ninja Turtles and Robin Hood?
You know what I mean? It's just basic altruistic shit, and fucking so like I got tuned into it a little too early for that reason, but it really only started to seem like it mattered during the whole George Bush Al Gore thing. And
man, dude, when I got older and realized how much of a rat fuck that was, dude, holy shit.
The reason Florida was so contested was because there was a riot at a polling place. Like, they use violence to get their way. They've done it before. And so that was the biggest thing to me, is like nobody in the news was talking about it, but it was like there was a riot at a polling place in Florida, and that set off this chain of events that led to the Supreme Court giving the election to George W. Bush, even though Al Gore had more votes in the Electoral College.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when there's this kind of violence at the Capitol building, when they're trying to sign that paperwork and make this shit official, it's like it's giving me flashbacks to 20 years ago when I saw this happen and George W. Bush happened, and we're still in those wars. We're still in Afghanistan and Iraq.
Yeah.
So like, I'm kind of glad we went there. I didn't want to. I really was not trying to.
I couldn't not talk about that shit because it's so like
those are those echoes that I'm talking about, man. Like,
I mean, much as like I wanted to talk about it mainly because I wanted to talk about it mainly because I was way less worried than you were about it, and I didn't know the level of worry you had about it.
Well, I didn't want to give you my worry. It feels Dude, good getting it off my chest.
Xander, you couldn't give me your worry if you tried.
Yeah, I've got that. I've got that suburban white neuroticism.
Yeah, it's like you've seen my fucking workload. And like, it's like, dude, I got fucking all this shit that like would be really cool when I finished it. I don't really give a shit about a bunch of fucking racists that are eating themselves. You know, like I'm making a fucking.
I hope they do.
Yeah, it's like I don't got time to think about a bunch of fucking people tasering their own balls to death. I'm making a fucking. I'm changing the fucking guitar and gear review game, helping produce a fucking show, giving some goddamn representation. All right. Fucking shouts out to you, Jason Mays. You better get better soon, you motherfucker, because if you die from COVID, I'm going to be pissed.
That is completely unacceptable. Will not live in that timeline.
No.
And then if I kill myself, what are you going to fucking do? Find some other white guy, obviously.
No, I can't. I can't find another white guy. I can't do that.
It's over.
You're my second. You're my second one. I can't. All right, I fucking can't,
dude. Third time's a charm, though.
No,
find the perfect one.
What is he gonna be like? What is he gonna be in his 50s?
So,
God, because Kyle was my age. You're like 8 years older than me. And I gotta fucking go out and find a fucking white dude in his 50s.
No. You're gonna level down and start talking to like a teenager.
That's the last thing that's gonna happen. Okay.
Can we take like a 2 minute so I can take a leak? Maybe a little potty break.
Yeah. Okay. So while Xander's pissing, let me tell you guys, we'll be right back. And in the meantime, while we're on this break, enjoy whatever I'm about to show you.
Super Bowl Saturday? Can you afford to pay me a restaurant? I don't know.
I get the feeling you've got a hard job. I wonder what it takes to please you. The job I want. Part-time, full-time. I want to be good at it, bad at it. I want to get promoted, fired, corner office, hostile takeover, workplace accident. I'm on my knees, Stacy, praying.
I don't know.
Tink.
Super Bowl Saturday? Can you afford to pay me a restaurant?
Okay, so we're back to the show. Enough talking about these American idiots, all right?
Yeah, it's all fun stuff now.
Now let's get to the fun part, all right? So this week, I actually have nothing to say. I'm kidding.
You've had no fun.
I joke.
Fun is for the weak.
Exactly. I joke. I kid. I'm trying the insult comic dog. Anyway. So yeah, other than that, like, this week has been very productive for me. I mean, like, I got this new camera set up, so that's been nice. You know, we've been live streaming a fuck ton, and that's been a whole lot of fun. Like,
those videos are funny, man. You clip out the best parts.
Dude, yeah. I mean, if people, like, when this comes out, I don't know what else will be out by the time this comes out, but I know the Scared Not So Straight video will be out, and that's God, that's been that, man. I had no idea.
I learned a lot watching that. I learned a lot.
I did not expect that video to be enjoyed by so many people on the level it was. I just wanted to make fun of a stupid jail that I went to.
Quality subject matter.
Yeah, I mean, like, let's talk about streaming for a little while, because I've had a lot of energy now that I've got this new camera set up. Like, I mean, you know me. Obviously, I already have, you know, a lot of go get it in me, you know, to be up and constantly putting out videos and doing this podcast and editing for other people and shit. But like, since I've gotten this new camera set up, I've just been like, fuck it, I'll sit here live and look at sandwiches. Like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah, that stream was fucking funny, by the way. Like, I got in the chat for a little bit, and I was like, this is actually kind of funny. And
my God.
I've been like, I gained so much weight around Christmas. I'm like trying to fast every other day and like do bullshit like that to lose some more weight. And when you did that to me, dude, I went right upstairs and was like, oh, we got sourdough bread, we got cheddar cheese. Like, fucking, I made a fucking like a ham and cheese and leftover. Oh my god! I just put so much shit on this sandwich.
Yeah.
So that was really funny and cool. Like that's honestly, I feel a little guilty because this is something that I should be doing all the time too. Like I wake up and just play video games and chill out, and I could be talking to people and trying to build the fan base too. And it's just like a lot of times I'm not feeling stoked to do that, and when I do feel stoked to do that, something else comes up and I can't.
Well, now we've got like 3 different Twitch channels, so like we could literally
it's gotta happen. I get it. Yeah, I totally get it.
Like I realized during that. Okay, to give a little context here for people who don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
Well, 2021 just started, and we're gonna finally get to work.
Yeah, well, Xander's finally gonna get to work.
Well, yeah. Sorry, I don't want to take any wind out of your sails. You've been busting your ass. I'm still getting used to everything and struggling with a lot of personal mental health issues. No,
it's good. This year, I mean, I can't say we didn't hit a bump because the last episode was literally us talking about me being in like a slump of depression.
It happens.
But like, yeah, so what we're talking about.
This is a weird time to be alive. Like, I don't think we should ever downplay how fucking bizarre it is to be alive during the COVID Trump era.
Yeah.
Like,
but like, I did a stream where I looked into this Facebook group called Show Me Your Sandwich.
Hell yeah.
And basically, it was
top-notch content.
It was so stupid. I was just like, because I've been a part of this group for a while, and
is there a pasta or a pizza version?
There might be. The thing is, there fucking might be, and who knows? I might go looking up.
Those are the perfect foods, dude. It's you take a bread sandwich, pizza, pasta are the best foods. Also, like,
hold on, you're lagging a little bit. Am I lagging on your end?
No, it's all slick, like a seal. You ever touch a dolphin at the aquarium?
Okay, you're good. You ever put your hand in the starfish tank?
You ever grasp a manta ray?
But yeah, I was looking at a bunch of sandwiches, and at that moment, I kind of realized, like, if anybody is a fan of the IndiCon Games Twitch stream, they'd be really pissed to come here and see this. And so that's why I just made.
This is a Devil May Cry 2,
right? Like this.
Fuck.
This isn't a Star Wars Battlefront speed run. And so like that's when I made the fucking Nothing But Nelson Twitch stream, because I was just like, well, Xander's got his because he forgot the password that I gave him 1,000,000 times, and
because I had to also sometimes I have to be on Twitch and not be streaming, and if I log in on the IndiCon one while you're streaming, it fucks things up.
Yeah,
that happened.
But yeah, so I did that, and Xander's got his, and so there's just like basically now. All the rules are out the window, because now if we're both like streaming together, we'll be on the IndiCon games and doing literally whatever. So like,
and that'll still be the main one. Like, we need to set that up so that if we're hosting, we need to be able to share it on that one too.
Oh, I already did that. I already did all that.
Good. Hell yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you've got to do that on your end though.
Oh, I'll look at that.
Yeah, add IndiCon Gaming to your hosting list, and
cool.
It'll be good.
Fantastic.
But yeah, I've been doing a lot of streaming, and I've been watching a lot of really stupid shit. Like I've been going back and watching a lot of like really bad like deathmatch wrestling.
Oh man.
And like.
Oh man. God. Is that what I missed last night? Were you doing that last night?
No, I was watching actual good wrestling last night.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah,
right
no, because on my personal stream, while I was doing that last Saturday, I was watching this reunion show for this West Coast like hardcore promotion. Like, you've heard of ECW, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the East Coast thing.
In my mind, they're like the legit company right now, because I don't Like
No. Hear me out. Okay, so ECW, like back in the '90s, was like a hardcore promotion out on the West Coast, like based out of Philadelphia. And so in the late '90s and early 2000s, out in the West Coast, there was a promotion called XPW that was trying to do what ECW was doing, but it was way worse.
Okay.
And so last Saturday I was watching like their reunion show that was like 4 years after they closed, and holy shit, it was bad. And on that stream somebody was just like, well, why don't you just stream good wrestling? And I was like, you know what, I will. And so every Wednesday I'm on fucking Twitch watching AEW and NXT, because, you know, that's the only fucking wrestling during the week that I actually watch live. So
hell yeah.
But yeah, so but yeah, that's
usually. The way I feel about those guys is like. Sorry, I'm like having chili gas. I've been eating chili for weeks now, since Christmas. But fucking like ECW back in the day, because I remember being a kid back when they were like a big thing. You know what I mean? There was like You had your WWF back then, and then you had WCW, NWO, and then you had ECW. Was like they were like the third rate as far as the money making, but they were like also the raw, sincere ones. You know what I mean? And and you know me, like I always compare everything to punk rock music. That's exactly, you know. You don't want the punk band that's on MTV. You want the punk band that's in some shitty bar or some guy's garage. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Hold on. Let me change my battery real quick.
Oh, again.
Okay, first off, I changed it before we started recording, and I hadn't changed it all show. So, fuck off, old man. I'm coming with the fucking quality, okay?
My camera is so nice. I have to change the battery every 15 minutes. There's so much quality. It stops working.
There's so much quality that the batteries die. You know, no more 1080p bullshit up in here, baby. All right, 4K all day, every day. That's me, Nelson, on the camera in 4K, 60 frames per second, bitch. You know.
Yeah. AEW, it's like they're sincere, they're honest, they're trying to make it happen. You know what I'm saying?
And they have a better show literally every week. And and
it's because they're trying to make it happen. They're not just resting on their laurels and being like, "I'm here, I made it."
Well, that and the thing that WWE does, and that subsequently NXT has done, is they take some of the best wrestlers in the world. And let me put this in video game terms for you fucking nerd. They nerf them. And they make them wrestle a safer style. And it's just it gets.
What's the fun in that?
It gets old and predictable. Whereas AEW takes some of the best performers in the world and lets them fucking go nuts, because it's like, if you trust the performers to do what they're going to do and do it safely and do it right, then it's going to be good, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly, you know.
It's like imagine being like a platinum selling band, you know,
dude,
you're fucking killing it. You're killing it, and you sign to a label, and this label, you know, they book your tours and they write your set lists for you for every show. So you go out there and you do the set list
that you don't really like. It's like that cherry pie thing that we keep bringing up, where it's like, the bullshit song that I wrote in 5 minutes is the one you want me to play every night for the rest of my life.
Yeah, they're just like, well, you'll be able to make money on it for the rest of your life, and you'll be able to walk when you're 80. And it's like, okay, but I could still walk when I'm 80 if I wrote my own set list. And they're like, no, you won't, because you're just a dumb performer. You know, that's basically how it goes with WWE.
Corporate bullshit, dude. It's that corporate shit, dude. Anywhere.
Yeah, it's like
too many managers is the problem with society today. It's like everybody can't be a manager.
I mean, I don't know. We'll see where AEW is in 10 years. You know, maybe their product might completely change, because back in the day, this is how people looked at WCW. You know, they looked at WCW as like the more legit wrestling product, where you know, WWF was getting more cartoonish, and you know they'd have all these occupational gimmicks and all this shit. You know,
that's the era that I was into, where it was like WWF was like kind of corny and bullshit, but WCW, and especially when they did the whole verse NWO thing, it just could be as like, that was just so much fun to me, because it just felt like, you know, I was like feeling and becoming like a punk and a goth kid, and the NWO dudes were such like goth identification.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, if you want a modern take on NWO, fucking Bullet Club. That's all it is. Yeah. That's
hell yeah.
That's literally all it is. Like,
I fucking just aesthetically, I love the Bullet Club shit. Like, those T-shirts are so fucking cool, man.
Yeah, it's the best. Yeah.
Don't think I haven't been on that website late at night thinking maybe I'll buy 10 of these.
Dude,
like, Jesus Christ.
I mean, hey,
hate how much I like T-shirts right now.
You want to get some matching Bullet Club jumpsuits, because I already got mine. You know, I already got mine. You know, I got it.
That'd be sick. And then we play a few rounds of Tekken where everybody else is wearing Bullet Club gear, because you can do that in the new Tekken.
That's right. Funny. That's right. Exactly. I'm going to stop talking about wrestling now, because I'm sure anybody that likes this show doesn't want to hear me talk about wrestling.
No, it's cool, man. It's always awesome to hear what you're stoked about. That's, you know, something I've been stoked about that a lot of other people are. You know, all this, I'm just going to do it. All this weird QAnon conspiracy bullshit that's going in with the actual real life politics right now made me nostalgic for conspiracy theories that make no sense at all and are completely ridiculous.
I could see that.
You know,
yeah.
So I've been on, when I need to blow off steam from like the actual politics lately, I've been looking up real, like, what new conspiracy theories are out there.
Oh my god,
bro! A lot of people online right now are convinced that most animals are not real.
Wait, not just birds, just all of them?
Just most animals. There's a video about how lemurs aren't real. There was one about how sperm whales.
Wait, whoa! What about Zaboomafoo?
Exactly.
Are you telling me the Crap Brothers were faking it this entire goddamn time?
No. Come on. Bullshit.
Yeah, ain't no way. All right, the Crap Brothers would never lie to me.
No, me and you and Zaboomafoo, bro.
Yeah.
Forever. Fucking yeah. So it's
damn.
Just
you got me thinking of that theme song. And you and Zaboomafoo.
That's a real thing. I've been watching like 15, 25-minute videos where they're just like, see, you can tell right here. That's just a monkey with a raccoon tail on it.
Jesus Christ. I've been watching a lot of documentaries on boxing.
Yes.
Because I love UFC, like MMA stuff. Like that's fun, because it's like you can, like, with MMA and, you know, subsequently with the UFC, you can see what's going on while it's happening. Whereas I've always thought with boxing, you know, you have to have a keen eye and like know what you're looking for with boxing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to an extent.
I mean, obviously, if somebody fucking just gets straight up punched in the face, then you're like, yeah, okay. But like, it's like the whole technique of just boxing, I've always wanted to know about, because it's like with MMA, it's like that's just a part of it, you know? But it's like, I watched a documentary on fucking Floyd Mayweather earlier today. And
what a badass. That guy is so fucking...
I mean, his personal shit aside, he is one of the greatest boxers ever. Like, fucking ever. Like, if you watch the way that he fucking boxes, it's not human, you know?
I feel like... dude, I could be wrong about this, and I would hate to lie on the podcast because I've never done that before. Hold on. Keep going. Yeah, he's so fucking badass, right?
But yeah, it's like he's one of those people that like he's a defensive boxer who's got fucking power in his hands. You know?
Yeah.
And it's like you see him fight like whoever's known as the best ever at the time, and he just fucking goes out there and he embarrasses him every fucking time. You know, it's like, you know, it's like he fought fucking Canelo Alvarez and just swooped around every single one of his punches and just fucking it's crazy watching him fight these people who were supposed to be like the other like top level and like best boxers at the time, and he just works around him. Fucking Sugar Ray Leonard, like they were both on the cover of some boxing magazine in '98, and you know they finally had a boxing match, like, you know, and like either the early 2010s or late aughts or whatever. And it's like, you know, people were freaking out at the beginning of this fight because, you know, that was the first time like somebody had like fucking actually put hands to Mayweather, and he goes to the corner, fucking comes back and just fucking embarrasses this dude. Like, you know, goes to the corner and is like, I know his game, and just goes out and just fucking just terminates him. It's fucking crazy. Like
that chess game aspect of boxing and just fighting in general didn't hit me until I watched some pro Mortal Kombat League shit, and I was like, oh my god, it's chess. It's like chess in real time. It's like you don't even have time to think about it. It has to be instinct. It's like,
like I was watching. When I was watching this Mayweather documentary, I don't know who it was, but somebody was like, I feel like Floyd Mayweather is better at boxing than Stephen Hawking is at fucking astrophysics. You know what I mean?
That's okay. I could see.
And it's like, to that degree, I kind of get it, you know? Because it's like, you take...
I don't have a lot of people to compare Stephen Hawking to, but yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You take somebody who's like a top fucking scientist and compare them to the top boxer, who's better at their craft? You know? This man went 40-0. Okay? Think about that. 40 fucking boxing matches and lost none of them. Fucking none of them. How? Like that.
What a career.
Like, I went and watched I watched a Mike Tyson documentary too. And man, that dude, again, another guy who's fucking one of a kind, but just had a shit hand dealt to him, dude. Like,
yeah. Like, but he did some sketchy shit.
Yeah, it's like I'm not sitting here and forgiving any of the shit that he did, you know, because he definitely did some fucked up shit.
In a shitty situation, you know what I mean? Again,
and like when you hear the stories about these guys that were like his father figures and like how he lost them, it's just like he had this guy. You know, like he had this guy Customato that adopted him, and you know, basically that was the guy who trained him, you know, up until his first fucking world championship. And then after that guy died, he's just like, you know, floating around, finds another trainer, and this other trainer's keeping him.
It's like Obi-Wan level, you know what I mean? Like,
this other trainer's like keeping him on the fucking straight path, and then this other guy dies, and it's like Mike Tyson's lost two father figures in a row, and then here comes Don King's fucking piece of shit ass swooping in, and you're like, Jesus Christ, man, it's fucked. It's so Fucked.
It's so funny that you mention all that because fucking that's my dad. You know, he's known for like NBA shit, but he dabbles in boxing.
I mean, who wouldn't want to dabble in boxing?
Yeah, of course. And it was like one of the Olympics, all the NBA slots were full, so he just did Olympic boxing that year, and it was fucking rad. And because of that, he started getting hired for independent boxing matches like all over the place.
Oh, jeez.
I'm pretty sure I saw a Mayweather fight in St. Louis, but I was so young that I didn't understand or care why we were driving that far.
That's possible.
But yeah, it's I don't know. I'm not sure. It was that era though. It was like 97, 98. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he worked the Holyfield Tyson fight. That
oh my god, where he bit his fucking ear off.
my dad worked on the bite fight, dude.
Jeez.
So like,
You want to know why he bit him, right? Do you know why he bit him? It's fucking Holyfield was throwing headbutts, dude.
Fuck, dude.
He was throwing headbutts, and fucking Tyson's like, yo, what the fuck? And like the fucking ref's not doing anything about it. And eventually Tyson gets him in the clinch and just fucking rips at his ear, dude.
I never heard that side of the story, but that is fucking
crazy,
fantastic,
dude. Yeah, because it's like they showed like the fights and everything, and you see like Holyfield, like, you know, the first one looked unintentional, but it's like the other couple is just like, yo, he's fucking headbutting Tyson. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You know. But also, Mike Tyson's a fucking crazy person. He had a tiger. He had a fucking tiger. Just loose in his front yard, and people would come through. They'd come through the front gate. Like Charlie Murphy has this story about how, like, you know, him and Eddie fucking came to Mike Tyson's place, and they fucking pull through the gate, and they're about to hop out of the car, and they fucking see a tiger coming the other way, and they're fucking getting in the car like, yo, what the fuck? And like Mike Tyson standing on the porch in fucking overall shorts, like, nobody wants to play with my tiger. You know, nobody wants to play with my cat. And it's like, at the same time, I could believe Mike Tyson would get a tiger, because they'd be like, what's the tiger going to do, bite me? I'll fucking hit it back. You know what I mean?
I'm nowhere near as strong as that man, and I would love a pet tiger. So
no,
like,
you wouldn't.
yeah,
you fucking crazy person. Why would you want a pet tiger?
It is every punk rock guitarist's dream to die fighting a big cat. That's just how it works.
I can tell, maybe every white punk rock guitarist, but
you play like indie rock, though.
Okay, first off,
no,
how disrespectful.
We're not gonna have that conversation. No, I love dude, no.
My first band constantly got compared to Bad Brains, all right?
Yeah, the band, well, because of the black thing.
Shut up. But, you don't know that. You weren't there.
No. When the reason I'm a fan of yours is because you were out punking my punk band when we were playing shows together. So I can't.
I was not out punking your punk band.
Dude, are you kidding? Your band was like, life fucking sucks when you just kill a guitar. And then my band was like getting mad at me for fucking up solos that they didn't even write. It was like, God damn it, guys. Like, fucking, I decide how that solo sounds. I wrote that solo. Whatever. Who cares?
Did I ever, that same place, that skate park that we played at with you guys that night. I played there before, like a month or two before that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like this whole fucking local like fest thing, you know. Like it was hilarious because these people got too big for their britches, you know.
Yeah.
Like, because it was at the same house in Douglasville the first two times. I think World's Greatest Dad played one of them.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was before you or after you. But this third one, they went to No Man's Land, the skate park, because they thought, oh, this is going to be huge. You know, tried to spread it out over like 2 days. And it's like, oh, you guys.
Wasn't that what that was? Because we played 2 days in a row.
No, that was a different thing. But like when I played this fest at No Man's Land, it was a perfect shitstorm, dude, because John had like an allergic reaction to some shellfish like a day and a half or like a day before, and I couldn't,
all
like,
swollen and pink.
Well, yeah, it's like he looked fine when I saw him, but like I couldn't get to him for like a day or a day and a half because like he was like in the hospital or whatever, and like, you know, I saw him at the show and was like, well, if we need to cut this set short, let's cut it short. And some some girl that like I was in like a situationship, but like it kind of fell out with, was there. And so that's all, like, we're playing a set and like John's like fading, and I'm like, dude, we need to call it on this set. And he's like, no, let's keep going. And so we start trying to play another song, and this girl comes up and is like, fuck you, Nelson, and throws a dildo at me.
Awesome.
Fucking, I'm
Yes.
talking big, and I like fucking duck and it misses, and everybody's just like, "Yo, what the fuck?" And they like take her out of there, and then like
Jesus Christ.
John keeps trying to play the set, and he's like passing out, and I'm like, "Yeah, guys, that's it for us." Just fucking call it, because John's passing out. I got a dildo thrown at me, and then later
I've been there.
yeah, then later that night I stepped on a nail, and like it was a whole fucking shit show, man. I'm glad. Yeah, I mean that's why like when people are like, "Nelson, are you playing shit?" Like, well, not recently, but like before all this, when people were like, "Nelson, you still playing shows?" I was like, "No."
They're pretty chaotic events, to be honest.
Yeah, it's like
that can be good, but a lot of y'all are fucking crazy.
Yeah, I mean even during like the John the Fruit Man shows, I was probably the most chaotic part of those shows, but like still, it's like once Holders was done. Played a few shows here and there, but like I was in no hurry to book anything because like I was just like, man, I've been playing these fucking like I was like, I think I was like 23 at the time when that I was like 23 when like Holders was ending, and I was like, man, I've been playing these shows for almost 10 years because I played my first show when I was like 14 or 15. And it was just like, man, I've been at this for fucking years, and it's so fucking chaotic, and it wears on my nerves.
Man.
And like,
dude.
And so it's like I have no problem being a lo-fi electronic artist, at home.
Or even just, maybe not just like playing rock shows when it makes sense.
Well, that's the thing. Even with John the Fruit Man doing the whole folk punk thing, like. John the Fruit Man had a reputation about it, which, I kind of just went with and like fueled, and I just didn't want to do it anymore, It's like I'm still like, I still write songs, that I'd put in the John the Fruit Man catalog every now and again, but yeah, playing shows, I feel like even after this whole thing is over, I'm gonna strictly stick to media stuff. Because, like, I think that's where the real money is.
It's a whole new era.
Yeah,
We're
not
going
to
out to clubs and bars.
I mean, that's what, even when this is over, like, because before this started, that's what I was doing. Remember I invited you to that Bands for Bernie thing because I was, shooting that, and then
Exactly.
The next night I have that show where I fucking met Shaq. And then it was over.
People want to be doing shit from home, and that's I was talking with my stepmom earlier, who also works with the NBA, and was talking about how like they're probably just gonna sell those office buildings. And just like it doesn't make sense to do what we used to do, because why were we doing that? We didn't have the technology we've got now is good enough that like we don't have to. You know?
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
If I just have to build enough charts and like move the corporation forward one day, it's easily something that most people can do in a few hours in their pajamas and then move on to the rest of their life. And the rest of your life is what's important, and it's what we've been missing. You know what I mean? Like making dinner is fun. Just using my stepmom as an example, she's been home so much lately. She just keeps making dinner, and like I've been bored lately, and I like to cook too. So I like keep planning on making meals, but then she's beat me to the punch. You know what I mean? It's like I keep trying to like make a pasta dinner or some steaks and burgers for the family or something, and it's like I go upstairs and, hey, it's stir fry night. Like, oh fuck!
It's like, God damn it! Stop cooking.
But that's beautiful.
Yeah,
right?
no,
that's how it should be. Like,
it's great because like
work should not dominate your entire life.
Well, yeah, when I was doing the whole 9 to 5 thing, like I would feel like I was fucking killing myself. Working from 7 to 5 or 8 to 5 or even 7 to 6 or 8 to 6. Sometimes I'd come home and I'd try and do this shit or make music or promote or something, and I'd feel like fucking dead, like I'd feel like I was dying. And I was talking to Sid about this, where it's just like I used to be so grumpy, but I didn't want to be. You know what I mean? Like I was like I couldn't help but be grumpy because I was getting fucking just torn down. And now it's like today I woke up at fucking 5 a.m. today. I started working. I got to my desk and started working on video stuff at like 11 a.m. and it's like it's almost midnight right now. You know what I mean? It's like I took a break, around like 8:30 before we did this podcast, and thought like, man, after we do this podcast, I'm gonna pass the fuck out. But we got halfway through this thing, and I'm like, fucking wide awake. Why? Because I'm at home. I set my own limits. I take my own breaks. I'm my own goddamn boss. Like, it's like this shit. It just works.
I was. You brought Jack up earlier, and I was talking with them earlier a couple days ago about they're stressing about, they're working with like office jobs, sending emails back and forth, dealing with data, dealing with bullshit. Corporate culture is like
all that
like,
shit.
The shit that he's telling me about is like, how do I can't relate to that. I worked at a guitar store and just tried not to do that. You know what I mean? Like I still had to sometimes, like, hey, HR, my coworker's a racist, but like that was like that's like as far as it went. You know what I'm saying? That's another funny story. But I'm not gonna go into that. And I was just like, imagine how far away your mental health problems would be if you lost your job, but your rent was still paid for and you would still be able to eat every month. Yeah. And still be able to go to the doctor. Right? And it's like, I was joking a little bit earlier, but like that there just should be a monthly subscription box to being a US citizen where, maybe you get some pasta, some veggies, some meat. Maybe it's all canned bullshit. Maybe it sucks, but you know what? You can survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's.
I feel like everybody who's homeless, or if you're homeless, you should be able to go to an empty office building that just got sold because we realized that we don't need office buildings anymore, and buy a shitty little apartment that used to be an office building. Yeah. No, that should be possible, and who knows? Maybe eventually it will be. But like, I want it so bad.
It's like I've seen these memes and things, and it's just been like, people are like, oh, when this is over, it's like, no, dude, nothing ever ends anymore.
It's not over.
That's what I'm saying. It's not going to end anytime soon. So stop making plans for when it's over and start fucking figuring out what you're gonna do while it's happening.
I think the last good year was the year 2000 when the PlayStation. The PlayStation 2 came out and everything was fine.
Oh my god.
And then 9/11 happened and everything was bad. That's my summary of my adult life is we have the PlayStation 2 now. This solves all of our problems.
I don't even want to think about that, because now that I think about where the world's been during my adult life, hasn't been that good. But anyway, yeah. Is there anything else you want to bring up before we close out the show?
Have we been going that long? Oh damn, this is a long one.
Yeah, we've cleared it, dude. We've passed the pinnacle. We've hit a solid episode. I've been drinking whiskey for hours now.
Can I do a quick video game news wrap up?
We'll wrap it up with video game news, then we're gonna get the hell out of here. Because my dad called me and I completely fucking missed it.
Oh shit, sorry.
No, that's cool. I just haven't talked to him in like 7 days.
I feel it. So there's a
new
Pokemon.
Though? Do you? I'm kidding. I'm just shit.
I moved anyway.
I moved.
You know what my situation is.
I know.
I'm afraid that man will die any day.
I know. I'm just fucking with you, dude.
But
we love our dads here.
Yeah, we are a pro dad podcast.
Pro dad podcast, which eventually is what this is going to turn into. The older and
more
gassy we get.
When we are actual dads, it's going to be terrible.
I'm not, dude. I'm a fucking uncle for life. Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Dude, I like uncle for life. That's good vibes. I'm into that. Holy shit. But
Let's
yeah,
close out with some video game news.
New Pokemon Snap coming out April 30th.
Who cares?
You know you want to use your Switch to take pictures of Pokemon.
You want to know what? I'm cutting this video game news segment short right now because you brought up the Switch, and over this holiday, my nephew is here, and he forgot his goddamn Switch charger at home, and so I was letting him borrow mine, and so
You stole it?
So, let me finish. And so when my brother came to pick him up, my brother was like, going all, because he's pissed about having to drive, and I'm like, I make this drive all the time. Why are you being such a pissy little bitch? And he's all like, kid, where's all your stuff? And so he just my brother grabs up my fucking Switch charger. So I haven't played my Switch in like fucking 8 days. Okay, I haven't played Smash Bros in so long. I'm pissed. Okay. Tomorrow I'm about to go to Micro Center and buy a new charger.
I have extras, bro. Don't waste money. I got you. Come hang out and I'll hook you up.
I feel like the online Smash Bros community is surpassing me. I haven't been able to like fucking wreck fools. I've been all out of sorts. All right.
We gotta start putting in like hardcore training sessions.
Like
we need
my friend Kelsey was gonna come. My friend Kelsey came over on Monday because my friend Drew was in town, and so he was at her place, and so they came over here, and I'm like, Kelsey, bring your Switch charger, please. And she's like, all right, remind me so I don't forget. And I reminded her, and she still fucking forgot. Okay, and so yeah, I'm a little Switch depraved, and I'm a little upset about it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I started playing.
I didn't mean to upset you.
I was playing video games on my computer on my computer PS2, and then was just like, man, I really want to play some Smash Bros. And looked and saw that my Switch has been dead for the last week.
That's upsetting as well. I'm not sure if I have the right plugs to power your dock, but I know I have the ones that will power.
It's the same one for the dock for the thing.
Okay. All right.
I know, because I had to unplug it from my dock to let my nephew borrow my charger. Oh, boy. Yeah.
Anyway, so there's that, and then did you watch the new Mario game trailer?
No.
So the new Mario game is basically a giant Bowser in Akuma form, like he's got the Dark Hadou.
So you're saying these are more things that I won't be able to play since my fucking Switch is dead? Is that what you're saying? Because that's what it sounds like you're telling me.
But I just told you that I've got plugs and we can fix it. It'll be fine, man. We'll move on. We'll move past this.
See, this is like me telling you to stop watching, like to stop watching the news, and you're like, it's not that easy, man.
No,
I can't just stop watching the news.
One thing is a physical thing that I can hand to you, and one thing is like my mental inability to stop caring about all of the people who are having, mental distress over what's going on.
Yeah, potato is what it sounds like.
You're just being weird.
Anyways,
one more thing.
What do you got? Bring it home. What do you got?
There's an old indie game from like 2017 that I just started playing that I fucking love called Dead Cells.
Oh shit, I've heard of Dead Cells.
It's fun as hell.
Yeah,
dude.
it's a good one.
It's like the best parts of Metroid, Castlevania, and Mega Man X4 all at the same time. But then it's all like gothic zombie bullshit aesthetics. Yeah. So it's perfect. It's perfect for my stupid ass. I'm like, ooh, I'm being spooky, but I'm also like a badass sword bullet guy. And like, oh my God, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, playing that game is how I got into Shovel Knight.
Yeah, similar vibes. Just the new games with the do the old school style. Yeah, I fucking love that shit. And so
are we ready to bring it home? Can we,
yeah.
We're gonna go home now. All right, folks. If it please,
John Dillerman is the perfect.
Don't bring up John Dillerman yet, okay? Don't bring up John. We'll get to John Dillerman on the YouTube channel eventually. Don't spoil it for the people. Don't spoil it.
Just non-toxic
No.
masculinity is possible.
Anyway, we're gonna bring it on home here. You know, from our homes to yours, from our hearts to yours, hearts across America. You know, hold on. Anyway,
Am I being that loud when I drink?
no, you weren't.
Okay.
Did you think you were?
I thought you were fucking bullshitting me because I was finishing a beer. Jesus Christ.
But yes, this has been the 94th episode of the Indistinct Conversation podcast. And if you're getting tired of me naming off the numbers of each episode, wait till we get to 100 when the podcast doesn't exist anymore. I'm Nelson. I've been here with fucking Xander right over there. And this has been the Indistinct Conversation podcast. And if you can't get enough of us, we've got 2 different YouTube channels in which you can just fucking stuff your fat little stupid face with us. Alright, you got IndiCon Rex, the YouTube channel of which this podcast goes on to in video form. And then you got IndiCon Games, okay, where we watch us play video games. And then also we got like 3 different Twitch channels. You got the Real Xander Cuck, that's Xander's personal Twitch. You got Nothing But Nelson, that's my personal Twitch. And you got IndiCon Gaming, where we're both at doing a whole bunch of dumb shit, okay? Okay. Anyway, go like Indistinct Conversation Recordings on Facebook. Go follow IndiCon Rex on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram at Nelson for you. I just hit 666 followers. It's probably not that anymore because somebody had to ruin my fun.
Let's get some t-shirts, man.
Yeah, go follow Xander on Twitter at Real Xander Cut. Go follow me on Twitter at Nelson for you. Go follow the whole podcast at IndiCon Rex on Twitter.
Come be our friend.
Yeah, follow my meme fucking Instagram at Heckin' Ripper. Okay, so yeah, peace out, you little Heckin' Ripper. Que sera, sera, carpe diem. Don't make any New Year's resolutions because your fat ass isn't gonna follow them. Anyway, we love you. Bye bye. Toast to the God. Yeah. All right. Bye bye.
Love y'all.
Love ya.